Alright, like I was saying, sorry it took so long to get everything set up. I was not used to this. It's been a while since I streamed. But today I'm going to be playing Pillars of Eternity because I learned yesterday, because I wasn't really paying attention to the game, that Avowed takes place in Pillars of Eternity's universe. So, I'm going to do that. I'm going to start a new game. I have like 100 hours in this game. And I was playing it yesterday for a bit. By myself. So I just wanted to be like, well, if I'm going to do that, I might as well at least try to do something. So we'll start a new game. We're going to just do normal. Just normal. I don't really want to do easy. I don't want to do any of these. And hopefully I can get this game done before Avowed comes out. Or I want to get this one and Deadfire done before Avowed comes out. Let's start it, shall we? I love this game a lot. Pillars of Eternity. I love CRPGs a lot.
5 wagons grope blindly for the path on a starless night, their master glancing ever upward to the skies for assurance that he is on the right course. A dim lantern his only protection against the encroaching darkness. But the skies bring no comfort, shining no light, betraying no hint of what they know. The caravan carries travelers bound for the frontier hamlet of Gilded Vale, you among them, where a local lord has offered land and wealth to settlers from abroad looking for a fresh start. You have taken suddenly ill, sweating and shivering, and one of the other travelers signals for the caravan master to stop on your behalf. He pulls up just in time to avoid plowing into the trunk of a fallen tree that bars the way ahead. You will go no further tonight.
I will go no further tonight, for I am sick with the bubble guts. Very Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. Like old style, like BioWare games. Alright, I am going to play. I think I generally play a male when I play these games. But I will play a female. I'll just play normally what I normally play, which is Godlike. You can see all the races and everything. We'll do Godlike. And there's the different types of Godlikes. There's the nature, the moon, the fire, but mine will be death, because I am a necro cookie, so I will do death. And then you can choose your body type, because a godlike can be from all different races. We'll just do human body type, just for the sake of it. And then classes. There's a lot of classes. Some very normal ones you see. There's like, barbarian, paladin, priest, which is more or less just cleric, ranger, rogue, wizard, monk. Then you have a fighter, a druid, and then you have what I consider the two kind of unique ones, which is Cypher. Like weird, like mind people, just fun. And then my favorite class, the Chanter, because it can summon stuff. So that's why it's my favorite. It has very low endurance, low health. It has average accuracy, but it has high deflection. So I'm going to play a Chanter, because I like playing Chanters. then we get to choose phrases. So chanters work in a way where you set up a song and you go through them to get buffs. The ones I'm gonna choose are "Come Soft Winds of Death," which drains endurance. And endurance is essentially your HP. You have two bars. You have HP and you have health, or you have endurance. You have health. Endurance is essentially if you lose all your endurance, you're knocked out, and if you lose all your health, you're just dead. So you don't want that. You'll see it when we get in game. So I'm going to choose this one, and I'm going to choose, because chanters are kind of support, I'm going to choose. I'm going to choose this one for friendly aura of fortitude and will. And then we can choose our evocations. You have, damage reduction of enemies. You have increase the damage of enemies take from shock and slash. You have a push effect. I'm gonna go with the summons 3 skeletons to fight for me, because that is always fun. And so this is where me building is going to be interesting, right? So I'm going to choose to have my intelligence more or less maxed, because it increases my area of effect. Area of effect is very good because I need the chant and aura to be bigger, and it will last longer. So this is your main stat if you want to be like a chanter type thing. Constitution is recommended. I will do, if I'm not mistaken, we'll make it 12. We'll do damage to 12. And we'll do... Okay, this is D&D. So D&D, you normally only do evens, because that's like the break point for like another stat increase. This is not D&D. I think... it's recommended. That's accuracy. I need accuracy as well. Let's do it like this. Because I don't really... Okay, let's do like that, because I don't really need action speed that much for this class. If I'm going to be summoning a lot. Alright, and then we can choose our culture. Deadfire Archipelago. Old Villa. So I think this would be the best for like stats wise, because it gets my intelligence to 20. Which if I go here, you can see now it is a 60% area effect and 50% duration. But I don't think I want to do that. I think I want to do just... I think I want to do just stat? Not stats. I want to like... I like Deadfire Archipelago a lot. It's a pirate area. I like pirates a lot. So Fertile Savannas, a lot of expense. Yeah. The villa is an old empire. Ratatouille is dominated by the only one nation. The Gulf itself is host to numerous nations. Most of them, though these countries are relatively young, they are some of the most advanced colonial settlements in the East. The Gulf is the land of riches where those who take them. The Chagos is often plundered by violent storms. We'll do Deadfire Archipelago. I think that would be fun. It also does kind of change what you start with as well for gear. But basic gear is going to be very easy to get, so... We'll do this, and we'll do this, and I guess I would love to get this extra point into 20, but 18 is the highest you can do like this. I think it's fortitude. I think accuracy. I think accuracy because of the first weapon I'm going to be getting is a funny weapon. So we'll do that. We'll be the Deadfire. Consists of nations of Nastik, dozens of Umura settlements, and hundreds of lawless, pirate-infested islands that stretch as long as the southern seas. Deadfire is home to boreal dwarves, Umaru, and a mixed diversity of other races. Deadfire is the last stop for anyone heading east, and a multitude of monstrous sea creatures infest the ocean beyond making travel virtually impossible. So that's what we'll be out from. And I can choose what my background is. So let's see. Probably merchant. Because these are the two things I want in my main character. Stealth survival. Stealth survival. Yeah, we'll do merchant. I mean, I like explorer is really cool because I just getting 1 point means I don't have to get that and get the damage reduction. And I like the part where I'm an explorer. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do an explorer. All right. So there's only 2, which is unfortunate. There's only 2 portraits for the female death-like godlike, which is unfortunate. But there are 3 heads. There's no portrait for this head. So that's what it's supposed to look like, right? And this one right here is supposed to look like that, but it's not the same color. This is like a silver, but this is more of like that color. So I think I will choose this one. Primary color, this, secondary color. Okay. Then the voice.
I've got this. Kill them all! Keeping an eye out. Now I am leader of the group.
Now I am leader of the group.
Kill them all! A blade in the dark. I shall lead us. To whispers and shadows. Oh? I shall lead us. Let's keep quiet. Leading the way. Attack!
Easy does it. Watch and learn.
Let's go. Nice and slow. I've got this.
We'll do Mystic next. And then the name. Xylua. We'll accept that as the name. Level 1 Chanter. Okay. Okay. I think this is fine. Dexterity not really needed that much. And yeah, dexterity not really needing that much. We can figure it out. Just check in my phone real quick, and I think there's gonna be a lot of talking, so let's be done. I can always, I think, redo a lot of this character. I don't remember. The caravan master finishes addressing the group, his bushy red mustache and sagging jowls quivering as if for emphasis. I've not streamed in a while, and I'm slurring my words. Fantastic.
Everybody stays close to the wagons, got it? Stay out of the woods, and beasts take you if you were planning a stroll through those ruins up there.
He nods towards a lumen black mass on the hillside.
Whole area's crawling with hut-dwelling types who'd be happy to stick an axe in you for trespassing. So mind that you don't track mud on their sacred blazing rocks. Tonight, everybody stays put, and in the morning we'll get the path cleared. Gilded Vale's less than a day out. Understood?
At last, the caravan master turns to you, frowning as he looks over you.
Touch of the rumbling rot, could be. There's a stinging beetle round here, carries it. You'll be fine once it passes your innards. Unless you don't drink water, of course. Which case you'll be dead in a day. There's a berry grows in these parts, small and pink, called a springberry. About the size of a fingernail. Give you cramps if you eat it, but the frontiersmen make a tea from it. Calms the insides. Should get you through the night. You might check around, see if you can find some. Meanwhile, I'll see if we can scare you up some water. I know you want to hunt before it gets much darker, but see about refilling our water first. Got a sick one here.
Odama looks over his soldier at his assistant, a lanky, intensive man named Spiffrel, who carries an old, sun-bleached bow, and then he says what he says. He nods in your direction. Spiffrel nods, slides the worn bow over his soldier. Speech impediment. So, I do know in the second game, they have a narrator that narrates all the extra stuff, and it's Ashley Johnson, which is really good. We'll just go over the normal dialogue, shall we? Where would I find these berries?
They grow on a bush that's common round here, kind of funny looking. You'll know it when you see it. Doubt you'd have to go far off the road to find one.
What are those ruins?
Nothing you won't see on half the hills of Air Glonfoth. Money to be made selling their knickknacks in Defiance Bay, if you don't mind getting stuck with Glonfoth and arrows now and again. They didn't build them, but I'll be the effigy if they don't watch them like a mother bear.
That's the game. I thought there was something else going outside. Hold on. Okay, that's just the game. That's very weird.
Of course, all the ones around here have been ransacked 10 times over. Got nothing left worth half a pawn, so I hear.
He adds with a wink. Your character's attributes, skill, race, culture, and sex may all open up options for you in dialogue. These options are not necessarily superior to other responses, but give you a wider variety of choices to select from. The manner in which someone responds to your choices depends on their individual personality and attitude. Essentially, character creation matters. Who did build the ruins?
Got different names for them. Settlers called them Ingwithans. Nobody that liked them enough to stop them becoming ruins, tell you that much.
Odam shrugs. Is it dangerous out there?
Not if you hurry about your business.
Makes sense.
And not if the weather holds up.
There's a concern in his tone, but he does not elaborate. What kind of weather do they get out here?
This time of year, rain mostly, and wind. But there's a different kind of wind out here time to time. Locals call it a beowick, born out of the ether, the spirit's path. Never seen it myself, never care to.
What are these huge rocks coming out of the grounds? Yeah, these huge rocks here.
They don't got Adra where you come from? Well, it just grows up out of the ground like this. Goes deep like tree roots. Some of it all the way to the heart of the world, you believe the stories.
Odam frowns.
It's more like a shell than a proper rock. Easier to work if you're a mason. Got all kinds of strange properties. Seems to have some kind of life of its own. Dies if it gets dug up. Loses its luster. Folks think it probably grew at one point or another, but not these days. The soul butchers in Defiance Bay use it for different things. I've heard tell it can hold a man's soul, but I don't care to see it. Got enough to worry about without seeing something like that.
I guess I'll go see above those berries then.
Hold on. Take someone with you. I know you're not some helpless tenderfoot, not like most of this lot. But you drop dead, I don't want to be looking for the body. Got a schedule to keep.
He scans over the travelers, resting his eyes at length on a sturdy, armor-clad woman who has spent the journey's night's rest sleeping on uneven ground without blanket or pillow.
Kalisha, Kalisha!
The woman looks up on her own time. Odeum says she needs to find some springberries. Watch that she doesn't drop dead.
No promises.
What kind of guide says something like that?
Kind you can afford.
Don't listen to her. You're in good hands. And I pay too well, if anything.
Odeum chuckles, shakes his head, and looks at you. And then he casts a sidelong glance when he says and I'll pay too well, if anything.
Off with you. Hayden should have supplies. See that you're equipped before you head out. We're in harsh country. Get your berries and hurry back. And if you get so much as a tickle of wind, you drop everything and you run. Something in the air tonight. If it's a Beawick, we'll shelter in the ruins. Hut dwellers be damned.
Odeum's small grin recedes beneath his mustache and he is stern once more.
You heard the man. Let's get going before you
All right.
keel over.
So the reason why my Fugi is there is because, you got to see my portraits, and I think the UI wouldn't permit other places well enough. But yeah, welcome to Pillars of Eternity. If this is your first visit to the world of Iora, I think it was, you may want to watch these windows to become familiar with the tools and interfaces available to you. Your party always consists of your character and up to 5 companions or adventurers. While the caravan is camped outside Glanfan... speech impediment. Glanfalanthain ruins, Odea has assigned Calicia to help you. Calicia is a fighter, a class that excels at close quarters defense. Use your abilities to complement your own. To select party members, click the selection circle. On the second circle, their portrait, or press the number that corresponds to the position of the party. So one on the left. To select multiple ones, click and hold anywhere and drag the marquee over the circles of the party of members you'd like to include. To move selected characters, click anywhere on the screen where your cursor is the 4 wedges. All selected characters will path their corresponding positions to formation. If you see a red circle with a slash through it, you cannot walk through that part of the map. When multiple players are selected, the action bar is hidden. To see additional character options, select only that character. Cool. So we will do some quick things. Formation. I don't want to be up front. If anything, I think I kind of want to be just behind her.
Certainly.
Yes. And then... So... I have... Okay, so that brings up that. Let's tab. There is no lockpicks here, but I can get some. I think... Yep. And then clothing. Because if I'm not mistaken, I kind of want the recovery speed not to be too terrible. And then we will open
I shall
this.
make it so. It's done.
Yep. Unlocks, and we'll take this. Most people you encounter in the world are neutral or friendly. You can interact with them by clicking on the selection circle. Many characters will simply greet you and go on their ways, but others will have large conversations to explore. The merchant Hyodrin has a conversation and opens up a store with equipment for sale. Let's
Anyone
go.
need supplies? I've got sundries for sale.
Hello. Hello, Sam Regal. Let's talk to him, shall we? You see a man, simple but mostly neat clothes. He's transfixed, however, by a ragged tear in the seam of his tunic.
Brought a whole wagon full of goods to sell, but not enough shirts for the road.
He shakes his head and laughs when he notices you. So that. He scratches one cheek with his knuckle, covered with the uneven stubble, as if he hasn't gotten quite used to shaving on the road.
Say, is there anything you need? I've got some basic traveling supplies for sale if you'd like to take a look.
Who are you?
I'm a trader, originally from the Adir Empire, but I've been trying to establish new business out here. Life on the road has brought some unexpected challenges, to be sure. And I'm sure you've noticed how prickly the locals can be. But we're here to make the most of things, right?
Yeah. So this is kind of thing where you can like dictate what personality you want to go to. I think. Oops. I think I might choose to pick. Oh, I like being clever. If you think those caravanners are prickly, watch out for those Aquilans Oldema mentioned. He laughs. That's an excellent advice indeed. And then you now have one rank in disposition reputation. These reputations represent how people perceive your personality throughout the world. Even seemingly nasty reputations will be favored by some people, and benign reputations often bring out the worst in some people. No disposition is inherently good or bad in Pillars of Eternity, but if your main character is a priest or paladin, you may be careful not to misalign the dispositions with what is favored by their deity in order, respectively. For the main character only, the dispositions will modify the effects of holy radiance for priest and faith and conviction for paladins. I am neither, so I can play it however I want.
Something else you need? Looks like we're settled for the night.
Tell me about the Adir Empire.
It's not as big as it used to be, but it's still big. The mainland is a continent northwest of here, but the colonies used to include Raed Ceres and the Deerwood. About 150 years ago, Deerwood won its independence from the Empire, a fact our companions are quick to remind me of.
He gives you a lopsided grin and nods at the other scattered caravanners. Why did you move all the way out here?
Because it seemed friendlier than Raed Ceres? My brothers took over the family mercantile business a few years ago, and there wasn't enough for me to do back home. I moved out to try and expand.
He shrugs. Drywood is a former Aedean colony, so it seemed like a good place to start. As much as I admire the Red Saren's work ethic, they've always struck me as a little fanatical. Yeah, it's too rational. I think, right? And it's diplomatic. That's very high-minded of you. A blush rises from his collar. Not at all. Just doing my part. All right, let's see what you got. Stores allow you to trade and sell your items for copper pieces. I hate that it's abbreviated that. Or items in the store's inventory. Merchants buy items from you at a greatly reduced rate. If you sell something, you may see it appear in the store's inventory with much higher cost. Stores periodically refresh their inventories. Just basic store stuff. We'll sell this for 150 because I don't really want it. And so nothing of these I really want. Won't lie. But I'll take the lockpicks. Just to keep them on me. Otherwise, yeah, I'm going to be going a fun build. Okay. So now, let's explore the map, shall we? Exploration is key in Pillars of Eternity as you make your way through the Eastern Reach. Open the area map to see the part of the map that you've already been to and what's left to explore, which is this. And there's Sparful.
I'll have your water soon enough. Stream's not going anywhere.
Alright, Patrick Sates. If I'm not mistaken, I want to... Yes, I want to cross this river. But I want to explore a lot. Oh, look at dead bodies. Travelers, maybe, or looters or bandits. Bad sign any way you figure it. The corpse is cold to the touch, and a ripe smell wafts from the putrid waves. A dark blood stain besmirches its simple linen clothing. We will pick up all this, and I will actually put this into there. Then you have, of course, that. You can see my little strange illness over there. I have -3 to concentration and -3 to fortitude. We are going. I'm gonna go get the thing I want real quick before I fight. So this is my character sheet, as you can see. Use the tab key to highlight interactive objects in the environment.
This is recent. Not good.
The footprints around the campfire are indistinct and may have been here for days or longer. So we'll get this. Beer. +1 damage reduction for 30 seconds. We'll put it on you. And so a mechanic that it doesn't tell you. Let me, hold on, readjust my seat. A mechanic it doesn't tell you is you can press Scout in or Alt, and it'll do hidden stashes. So this is something I use a lot. What am I saying? Oh, so this gun right here, the Disappointer, has terrible accuracy, bad damage, bad crit. It's a terrible weapon, but it's the earliest you can get a pistol, a firearm. And I will be using it as my weapon of choice. And I will be putting this on. Yeah. I would put a helmet, but because I'm a godlike, I can't use any helmets. So I'll put the thing on you. And that makes me better. You can switch new weapon selects by the weapon icon in the individual character blower. Nice, nice, nice. So what do you have? Constant recovery. Fighting spirit knockdown. And nothing else. Cool. Cool, cool. Alright. Then Alt. And you can see I gotta make sure I grab these. Because a big thing is, so I can enchant this weapon if I get enough money and resources, and I can eventually get rid of the statistics or the downside to this weapon, and add like a secondary damage type, and then I can make it so I can also, if I really wanted to, have it really good at a certain type of enemy to kill. And that goes for every weapon, and I'm not mistaken, every armor as well. So if I wanted to do more intellect, level 2, acquire that, and then I can put it on proof if there's like a special type of damage I'm not very good at. So it's like, it's really fun. I definitely think this game is fun. It's just, it's not actually D&D, so a lot of people don't play it. I wish more people played this game because I think it's a fantastic CRPG. Alright, so we explored there. Let's explore here, and then because we have to go that way. The second game I'm really excited because it's pirate based, and you're on a ship, and it's really cool, and they did a lot of different stuff. But we got to get through this game first. And I always have a problem with exploring an entire map before I move on. The fallen trunk doesn't budge. Sap oozes from the jagged wound in its trunk.
Not looking forward to trying to lift that thing tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, not looking forward to it. And then we have some horses, and of course, more of this. You can see that icon there means I cannot move there, so we will go this way. I can try to talk to these people, but Caravan Lights doesn't agree with you, does it? You look as raw as that merchant he did. Yeah. And then there's Caravan. Okay. And these here. These tall glass green pillars appear as if they sprouted from the earth. The flickering fire sets shadows dancing within.
Go on then, before it gets too dark.
Just doing a full once over. Love the music. This music is one of my favorite OSTs, and I use it a lot in when I play Dungeons and Dragons. So, Pillars OST is fantastic. One of the few games that I bought the OST for. That's not what I'm looking for, but because it is actually just right here.
Let's check by those outcroppings.
Yep.
Okay,
Okay, so this is combat. Pillars uses the pausable real-time system like Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale, Planescape Torment, those old CRPGs, Pathfinder, Kingmaker, and Wrath of the Righteous, if you choose that version. Because you often manage more than one character at a time, it's a good idea to pause the game, issue orders, resume real time to see the words play out. The options menu also contains choices for automatic pausing when certain conditions are met, i.e. start of combat. Okay, so there is a wolf. We're going to... So she has an ability, which is knockdown, which is 2 per encounter. I'm going to have her knock down. I have a... So this is my chant aura. Let's rename this chant, shall we? For now, just so I can have it something flashy. Chants are spent most of the time in combat speaking chants. Chants are arranged in strings of magical phrases that produce different effects. As one phrase ends, its effects will linger, so... I think if I'm not mistaken, it starts either here or here, then it will linger. I think if it starts there, it will just linger. Whatever. Overlapping with the effects of the next phrase. When a chant reaches the end of the final phrase, it would loop back to the beginning. Careful arrangement of phrases can produce powerful sequences of passive effects. Click on the chant to select it. Phrases, click on the left, and just telling you how to do that. Okay, these are my 2 phrases. This is my chant. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to shoot because you can chant while doing other actions, which is really good. All right, so you see the engagement. One of your characters is engaged in melee. When their characters are engaged, they immediately stop moving. If they move again, they'll provoke a disengagement attack from the enemies. Engaging them, your character will also automatically engage enemies when they initiate attacks against them with melee weapons. Alright, so with Chanter, I gotta make sure that they're in the circles. If I'm not mistaken, the outer circle is just if you're doing an AoE that affects negatively the allies, they won't be hit by it, if I'm not mistaken. I will actually choose Summoner.
What you need?
And then for you, we'll choose the Aggressive. Then we'll continue the combat. All characters in the game, friend and foe, have 4 primary defenses: deflection, fortitude, reflex, and will. These defenses are based on the character's attribute level, items, and other effects. Accuracy is compared to the appropriate defense when the attack is made. If accuracy is below the target's defense, the attack suffers a penalty to the roll and is more likely to result in a miss. If accuracy is above the targeted defense, the attack is more likely to be a crit. Let me see if I can't make this bigger. So, you see I have a 17 accuracy, defense is 24, which is a -7, roll 75 -7 equals 68 to hit. with 17 damage, with damage 4 to 60, 17 pierce. Cool. And then we have the all attacks that do damage have to overcome the damage reduction, DR. An enemy's DR reduces the incoming damage by the listed amount down to the minimum percentage. If you are having a difficulty hurting the enemy, try switching weapons or attack that does a different damage type. Most enemies are strong against 1 or 2 damage and weak against a similar number. Okay. But you can see the wolf, it's injured, it has less HP. You can see the 3 bars. So the yellow bar is the action bar, the red bar is the red pips, and the green pips are the endurance, not the health. Because the health is this green bar here, right? You can see that it's 51 endurance but 253 health. So whenever she takes damage, it essentially saps from her health pool to regenerate her health. And when she goes down, she's knocked out. Whenever someone's knocked out, they lose a lot of health, but they regain their endurance. So let's continue. And look at that, easy. You just knocked it down twice. And dead. Cool, cool, cool. So, for Chanter, it requires 3 phrases chanted, so I only got 2 in that fight, which is unfortunate. But other fights will make it so I'll be fine. Let's explore the rest of the area before I move forward. Also, take this hat off you. And we'll just put it here. You have scale armor. The path winds through a narrow canyon
Shouldn't stray too far.
back the way you came. Grooves in the road markings the passage of hundreds of caravans. I'm not straying too far. I'm just making sure I get the map done.
What you need?
That's 2 encounters. So there's kind of like how 4th edition D&D is. You have like at wills, you have dailies, and you have encounters.
Certainly.
This is it.
And that's the bush I need. You receive quests, your journal update with relevant information. If you get stuck, open to review your notes. Explore. A DM says you had some interesting travels. So this I can choose kind of what I wanted to be. I can be a pirate, just a frontier, or I can be... I'm going to choose, in the watery parts of the world, I was a mariner. How was it compared to coming here? We'll say I was we were attacked by pirates at sea. Our ship was destroyed. That's a damn run of luck. Maybe the next set-in will turn things around for you. Kaliska breathes into her surroundings. It's been a long time since I've been this way, but I've always did like it. Lord Redrick's offer makes a girl think. I'll give him that. You're here to settle like the rest of the lot? I'm just passing through. That's usually the case with the big city just a little further up the road. Where you're headed? Nowhere special, just putting as much distance between me and my old life as I possibly can. Seeing how things are halfway between... Hold on. Need to sneeze. Sorry about that, you need to sneeze. Seeing how you're halfway between nowhere and nothing, I'd say you picked the right spot. Anyways, I'm wasting time here. Odeo Odomo will give me an earful. Let's be on our way. Why are you here? Glister sighs unevenly, her eyes search the ground her feet. My sister moved out here some times back. She sent me letters. She seems worried, but That's how she always is. This time she asked me to come out, and that's what got me a little worried. I haven't seen her in ages. Been doing guide work in Ixmatol, but I'll do anything for her. She's a much better woman than me, so I'm here, and we'll see. Odema, I worked with before. He usually doesn't drive a route this way, but he's doing it for me. Tell me about yourself. I got simple needs. I like open skies, far horizons, and I find work that lets me live that way. My family wanders too. We started in Drywood. My parents ended up in the Living Lands. I got a brother in Urtali and another in Adir. My sister is in the Gilded Vale. She's the only real homebody. What do you tell about the Drywood? I'm not much for history, but from what I know, it used to be part of the Adir Empire, broke off after a war some years back. The locals are feisty, and that's how they like it. I've been out of touch, but I've been hearing weird kind of things about lately. People having trouble giving birth, I guess a lot of them. Been going on for years now, but somehow it's getting worse. With an uneasy tremor of voice, she adds, I'll have to ask my sister more about it. Alright, let's get back to camp. You know, I wouldn't hold my breath that Spefrol's getting you water anytime soon. He does what he likes. Ooh, gassy. He does what he feels like, and when he feels like it. We should check up on him first, slap him around a little. Stream just a little away. Come on, let's get your water. Alright. Press J, you can see the current quests, which is to find and then to go to the journey to the Gilded Vale. Then you have the journey. This essentially got built up while you were doing it, and then my favorite part is the bestiary, right? So you see a nice little drawing of the wolf, and then you actually see, like, the more you beat it, the more information and things you can get from it. And then, like normal CRPGs, there's just a bunch of like lore, locations, equipment, deities, so much. So let's go get the water.
What a surprise. Sparfle went hunting. At least he left the water skins. Come on.
You crouch at the riverbank and dip your water skin into the cool water while Celia waits nearby, keeping watch. As you rise, you notice her look up sharply towards the tree line. You've gained the item Quest, a full water skin added to the stash. Out the trees emerged Sparkle, one of the guides, barely discernible in the dim moonlight. He no longer carries his bow, and there is strangeness in his gait. Gait. His stride hobbles. His stride hobbly as he moves towards moves towards you with labored breath. Jesus Christ, speak. Such a dumbass.
Sparfle, are you all right?
Callista frowns. Callistia, whatever. Sparfle's toe catches a rock, and he collapses forward in a heap. The feathered shaft of an arrow planted between his shoulders looks like an enemy flag.
Ambush!
Alright,
What
we're
you
gonna do that, and I will shoot you. Okay, so I had a couple messages from that. Sometimes a weapon or spell isn't suited. Penetrating enemies' damage reduction when attack hits the DDR will wipe out all a small percentage of the incoming damage. You'll hear a character complain about when it happens. Take heed. Note the damage type that's being blocked and switch to a weapon with a better damage type. And there was another one, I think, right? There we go. When a party takes damage, they'll start to lose endurance and health. Their portrait will begin to fill with a red overlay, and the health bar to the left of the portrait will slowly start to decrease. When a portrait fills entirely red, the character will be knocked out. Potions and spells can be used to restore endurance to keep the character in the fight, but health can only be restored by resting. So you can see I took damage there. Alright, now I got 3. So now I'll use an invocation. And I will... If their bones still slept under that hill, none can say. And I will summon skeletons on him.
Row at 10.
And I summon 3 skeletons! And they're going to attack and engage him.
Yes.
I don't have that many athletics, but okay, now they're engaging him. And then I'm gonna have her come through.
Decimus mitum. Yeah.
There we go. And shot.
Come on, we have to get back to camp.
Alright, we'll grab this bow and then this.
Certainly.
And we'll pick up what he has, which is just money. How long have I been streaming for? Does it tell me? About an hour. Okay, cool. Sorry, it's been so long since I was streaming. Alright, so that's essentially how my character works. And alright, we'll have you.
Decimus mitum.
And then I think if I'm mistaken, yeah, they're in. We'll actually move a little more as well. Try to get this hunter.
Yes.
Cool. Now I'll summon skeletons on this guy.
Row at 10.
And then these skeletons will bog down this ranged person. And then we'll shoot. Let me actually change the AI to be defensive. I don't think defend self is good enough. And then, yeah, you have the knockdown and everything,
Yes.
and then the second wind. All right, you scored a critical hit. A crit is better result than a hit, and they're more likely to occur when the attack accuracy is higher than the target's defense. Attacks do damage will do more on a crit. Attacks that inflict status effects or afflictions will have increased duration. On a crit, grazes are worse than hits and suffer decreased damage and durations. I'm going to actually move my person here so I can have the chant hit both of them, and then my allies can get the plus will and fortitude, and then I can drain the endurance from all enemies in the area. But this should be it. There we go. Boom. And yep, we'll just take all this. And take all this. Okay.
Certainly.
Let's continue on. We're gonna go back to camp and warn. Oh, they're all dead. Glorfalven leader. All around you lie the massacre remains of the other travelers, peppered with arrows and knife hilts, splayed and bug-eyed and filthy. Kalisa puts the back of her left on the mouth as if to ward away some poisonous vapor. A handful of dark figures stand above the fallen, treading on limb and backs and heads, jerking their axes from the bodies as if from half-split logs. One of them towering severe with a thick beard tassel with knots, holds a wet blade at the neck of the man you recognize as Hedon, the last of your caravan left standing. Lay down your arms. Do not forfeit this man's life. For a fight you will lose. We'll use the lore. The ruins have not been sullied by our hands, men of Glanfeth. Damn, Fantasy names are terrible for me to pronounce. Your words carry no weight when I seen the truth with my own eyes. Blood must be paid for this intrusion. I'll say it again. Lay down your arms. Don't trust them. They mean to kill us. Seen a lot of these things. I'll do intellect 15. Judging by the string of animal teeth around your neck, I'm guessing you are worshippers of Gathwain. If Gathwain told you to stop protecting ruins, would you? The man frowns and motions as about to swing his axe. He winces, but the blow never comes. Instead, the man cocks his head, intrigued. Of course, but he would never. It is by the command of all the gods that we accept this charge. And I will say, yeah, this is making my mouth dry as fuck. How do you know? Because it's consistent with their beliefs, or because it's what you were told? The man glares. It's always been known to my people. I say in response, I see. And what of Gladwin's edict? That weakness and age must be purged by the youth and strength. You think Galawain would want some moldy, crumbling stones to survive long after their builders have turned to dust? The man's nostrils flare as he fumes. He would not. He told us otherwise. I'm sure he did. Just not you personally. But why should that stop you from killing innocents? Distracted, the man grips Falter from his axe handle. He nearly fumbles it, affording Hedron the moment he needs to dodge out of his swing, which comes too late. Howling with Wade, the man charges you instead.
Hmm?
I'll do this and this.
Hmm?
Let's move here so we can get some fortitude increases and take down the leader.
Yeah.
And you guys don't drop anything. Yep, and then gone, fallen leader. Your enemy lies supine on the ground, unable to rise. His companions now silent among the other dead. His breath comes in wheezing, fitful gasp. He looks not at you, but at the sky above. Forgive us. Barely audible beneath his choking sighs, a whisper the wind stirs in the air. At this time, the man's eyes rolls back and he closes them. Good, good. The gods are just. A queer smile across his face. I am ready. The wind begins to swell, whipping around the camp. Electric and volatile, upend in pots and rattling tents like an angry spirit. You can feel it begin to seep beneath your skin, and where it pierces you, it feels as if it is rending you apart from within. Seated against a wagon wheel amidst the howling maelstrom slashed across the chest and barrels, Odeum's body stirs. With a great effort as he rises, his staggering head and eyes briefly open as he looks directly at you.
Get inside! Run!
Straightened against a gale that threatens to pull you off of your feet with every step. You set your hands in the warm folds of weathered rock and set apart, pulling yourself up the precipice. With a last burst of energy before your arm gives out, you swing yourself onto the ledge. Head-on trails behind, slowly by injury and delay by early hesitation. He nears the face of the rock. One of the fallen attackers who have been feigning death lunges for Hedron and topples him into the rocky ground. Restrained, Hedron lashes out against his fatigued assailant, but struggles to break his hold. They are close to you. From your position, you would have a good chance of hitting your mark. I will fire at the attacker. Your aim is true. Your hit Jar's Hedron, Hedron, Hedan, he whatever. H. Loose, lurching from his feet, H clambers up on the base of the rocks. As he nears the top, however, the wind flares, pulling him sideways and tearing one of his hands free. But diving out onto the hard rock, you manage to catch hold of it, securing his other hand. You pull with waning strength, and it feels as if your arms will be jerked from their socket. They hold just long enough for H to set his feet and join you on the trembling ledge. There it is, a deep resonance to the swelling wind now. You feel it as the rocks beneath your feet and inside the cavity of your own chest, as though it would shake the marrow of your bones. Each new gust menaces the old stones before you, loosening connections, unsettling balances. As you dart beneath the old archway, the entire portal begins to fall beneath its own weight.
Was that?
A Bewick. Had to be.
H words comes between wheezing gasps.
Then we're lucky to be alive.
And we're the only ones.
We can't stay here. There could be another collapse. We're not getting out that way anyway. Let's get further inside.
Yeah. Cool.
Oh?
Let's mess with the formation. I definitely think it should be something like this for now. Yeah, we'll do something like this. And
Yes.
we'll do the behavior of this and defensive. Because you, yeah, you're just dagger person. So it doesn't really matter what I give you. How long do I want to stream for? Another hour or two, maybe? Let me actually check on my stream, see if it's fine. Good. Everything's working fine. I wonder who my other chatter is, but it doesn't matter. If you don't want to chat, there's nothing wrong with chatting. I'll just narrate this game like I normally do. Alright, so new map. Calantis.
Certainly.
A lower level of the ruins have been blocked off by the fallen rubble. Okay.
That should be far enough. But what now?
Arnon's chest rises and falls visibly with each breath.
We look for another way out. Storm has to die sometime.
What happened up there? Kleska shakes her head. Windstorm, of a kind they only get in El Gothan. Not too many people live through them. It's hard to know what's true. The Glenfothen word is Buick, yeah. To them, it's the gods' way of reaping the souls of the land that could not find their own way, but they'll take a living soul as soon as a dead one. Still got yours? Yeah. Who attacked us? The Glenfathens. Those would be the hot dwellers O'Devon warned you about. Look to be fangs of Garthwin, who were the twitchiest of the lot. They go ruin to ruin looking for fights with colonists. Poor Dalen, I think, half expected this once we lost the main road. The Glenfarlin were trespassed said we trespassed in the ruins. I don't believe it. O'Dane would never allow it, but as much as the Fangs are hotheads, Gwethons don't attack without provoked. Either they saw something and got the wrong idea, or sequences down the passage beyond, or there's a looter in here with us. That's something we something we need. That's not something we need right now. What about everyone else in our caravan? Clestis puts together, and her chin ruffles. Her voice is faint. The wheels got a hold of them now. She looks up. Gods grant them a better luck in their next lives. You don't seem too upset by this. Looks the eye, a volatile current runs through this. Maybe you just don't know me enough to know what upset looks like. And maybe I've seen worse. Maybe I've seen worse too. Seen worse and kept on walking because there's nothing else to be done, and because there's other people you care about who still need you. Let's get going. All right, I think it's a good time to save the game and take. Oops. Yeah, save the game and let's take a break. Oh, well, being back. Alrighty then. Wrong one. There we go. Alright. Let's continue, shall we? I just had soup because it's very cold out and my room doesn't have good insulation.
Certainly.
Alright. Let's continue. So we survived the bullet, and we need to find a way out of this cave now.
Wonder who was here. See if they left anything useful behind.
Okay. Take these camping supplies. You discovered some camping supplies. You can use these to rest in the wilderness or dungeons, fully restoring all your character's health, abilities, all your character's abilities and health. Easy difficulty allows you to carry more camping supplies, but hard restricts them severely. If you fully run out of camping supplies, try to find an inn. Most have cheap rooms available. Mace can go in here, and that might actually be useful. And then a shield, which I'll give to you, and then this. I think that's it for there. Then let's go this way. We'll go up here. The Eastern Reach is a dangerous place full of lurking enemies and carefully concealed secrets. Enable scouting mode to move stealthily and search for hidden objects like traps and secret doors.
Those tiles look suspicious. Let's be careful.
How can I help? Found something.
So, what we're gonna do is this is a good way to get EXP, right? So we'll do this. Because we have a rogue.
Found something.
Just getting all of these traps disarmed would mean that I get a lot of EXP. But yeah, that's cool. Let's actually go this way, shall we? And then
Houndish symbol. I'm pretty sure I saw it on one of the tiles back there.
yeah, let's just use the yep. So you're supposed to do this to turn off the traps. But I just wanted to get the EXP because
Silence surrounds me.
EXP is... This mural must be ancient, yet the colors are still bright and vivid. It shows a procession of Ilgothans from all the Kith races, Almora, Elf, Orlan, Dwarf, and a human. They walk among the pillars, similar to the ones that span this chamber, each one of them topped with a flame. That's supposed to help you to be like, yes, you can interact with that. Ooh, slimes.
Finish them!
I'm dead.
Certainly.
We'll pick all this stuff up here from slimes. We'll pick this up. And
Where'd that slime come from?
viscous and oily, this muck clings to anything it touches. A viscous slick of something dark and tar-like runs down the wall. The shapes and bulges in the ooze suggest it's something lies beneath it, but you can't tell what. Use the water skin to clear off the ooze. You rinse the ooze away, revealing a intricate relief of a man's face. The sunburst surrounding it has been chipped away in places, but the details of its head, from its tight curls of the hair to the ridges of the pointed ears, still showcase a remarkable craftsmanship. One eye socket is empty, a gem fills the other. You have lost an item, the full water skin. Okay. Alright, well, let's continue onward, shall we? The tattered journal. The small folio is torn in several places, and blood has soaked it in several of the sheets. One later entry is still legible, however. I can't believe my luck. A few rounds of dice, and I got my hands on a genuine Gothwin artifact. The fellow who had it said it was pretty nothing as far as he's concerned. He's not willing to go digging in some ruins. But if he's right about this gem leading to a hidden treasure, then it's worth sneaking past a few painted elves. I'll head to Slienta Lists in the morning, and then it's just a matter of finding this relief he was talking about. Asshole. I'll take the relief gem and everything else. He was the reason why we were attacked. And he's dead. Good. Stuck him. So, I think now we take this gem over here. Like I said earlier, place the gem in the eye socket. The chamber begins to rumble, stray rocks dancing across the tile floor. Finally, a large section of the wall gives way. You have lost the item, a Gothian relief gem. And a lesser black ooze. Closer. And dead. All that up, and
Silence surrounds me.
there's this cloak of protection and these amethysts. I am gonna put the cloak of protection on for reasons. No, I'll put it on her for now. For now, because she is the melee. She is our tank right now. Let's make you full tank. You seem to be taking a lot of damage. Still got the minus concentration and minus fortitude.
Wait, do you hear that?
Yes.
I'm dead. His pots, his axe, his hatchet.
Take a look at the wall. Think we could get through?
A crack runs along the wall from floor to ceiling. A light gust of air passes through. Use the hammer and chisel on the weakened wall. You set to work, crack lengthens and widens your efforts, but the process is more taxing. Sweat draws your forehead, and your muscle begins to ache. After several long moments, you begin to see the light on the other side. With one final tap, the several blocks of stone shift, and then tumble loose, clearing a gap just wide enough to pass. You've lost the item Hammer and Chisel.
I could scout ahead.
Quefe.
What's around?
Filmas me. Oh.
I need to run. Oh, ouch! When a party member is reduced to 0 endurance, they are knocked out. That means they are out of fight. But as long as your side is victorious, they will regen their endurance when combat ends. Even though endurance regenerates after combat, health does not. Keep an eye on the bar on the left of the court portrait. Prevent them from being maimed or killed. So I am down.
What you need?
And that was an overkill. Cool. That is unfortunate. I took that damage, but I am not the best.
Be quiet.
Let's see if there's anything in here. I don't think there's any spots in here.
Draft coming through that wall. I don't hear any sign of that storm either.
Quefe. Filmas
Draft
me.
coming through that wall. I don't hear any sign of that storm either.
Nope. Thank you, Windows Scanner, for telling me you scanned my computer 3 times. Close to level 1. Alright, let's go and go to the one area I haven't gone
Fresh
yet.
air in here. I think we found an exit. Sounds like the storm path, too.
Yep. Yep. Oh, and let's give the meat to them. The Zorboth Narsil flares at the scent of the fresh meat. Its eyes dart to you, and the food it creeps to the prize, shoving the spear into your and snatching the meat with both hands. At the last moment, its gullet quivers as it devours its flesh and noisy chomps. And I'll just loot this. Continues. Okay. So, yeah. I could have fought it. I thought this was funnier. And, yeah. Now I just move forward. Probably stop streaming about an hour and a half. I think maybe I'll make it the Guild Vale. Can I get the world map? Whatever.
Quefe. Filmas me.
And dead. Cool. Bats as large as chickens are strung up in the web. And then there's this here, which has a rapier and a bloodstone gem. And then there's a slide off thing here. And there's a cap and more gems. Cool. I think that's the entire map. Let's leave this cave. Older robed man. 4 figures stand before an otherworldly apparatus. The ancient structure of chiseled Adra and metallic veins, ominous and lumen like a silent observer. Standing motionless in their midst is what happens to be a human body, colorless as stone or ash. The other figures gaze upon it and what might be contemplation. From your vantage point, you are well obscured from their view. The figure closest to the machine stands out among them. A thick gray beard frames a face otherwise hidden beneath a metallic mask. His faded robes are embroidered with a runic language unlike anything you've seen, and he wears a strange black headdress with two protrusions that jut out like the wings of some malevolent creature.
Oathbinder, bear witness, and see this man has kept his word true to his last breath, full to his blood's last drop. Guide his soul, queen that was, and regard it among your favored. Let his life by the key be his confession. Let his death by the key be his absolution. May he walk the world ever free of the crushing weight of the book.
He addresses the petrified body.
Your brother has done his part, and you have seen the power of his contribution. I will accept no further hesitation from the rest of you. In the sight of the queen that was, will you fulfill the oath? Will you take your place beside your brother in the endless esteem of her memory that is without flaw? Step forth, and be assured of the great worth of your life's course.
The man gazes over the others standing around him. He says his first part, and then he looks each in the eye in turn. Spooky. For an instant, the apparatus goes quiet and the air still. Then all at once, it erupts with a concussive surge. Light floods your vision. You are knocked to the ground. Your head snaps back as you land. The pain wells into the back of your skull, washing your last thoughts away into the black unconsciousness void. You open your eyes to a different place, another time. You stand in a circular room, grand and domed, its walls lined with adra and trimmed with copper. The style is ancient, but the chamber is unweathered. At the far end, a great pillar of adra pierces the floor from beneath. Its shimmering texture gives the illusion of boundless depth. Encircling the pillar is an apparatus much like the one you've just seen, but immense and multifaceted and intertwined. I haven't spoken this much in a while. Your thoughts are yours and not yours. They seem to exist before you think them, and they are all questions, pressing questions, troubling questions, questions that must be answered, or... At the base of the pillar now, you see a man with a thick gray beard and ceremonial robes, crowned with the strange ornamental headdress. You know this man. You are walking towards him now, at a pace that is hurried, while trying not to appear so. You have something you want to ask him, one question above all, and that question spins madly in your mind. Oh, my two companions are dead. You awaken to find your malaise has broken, only to be replaced with something far more concerning. Faint whispers are audible at the edge of your hearing, like a ringing in your ears that does not subside. Movement flits through your periphery, but when you turn to look, you see no sign of whatever it was. You find your gaze regularly darting this way and that, an involuntary paranoid tick. If this is a sickness, it may be dangerous to go without treatment for long. The figures of the machine stand frozen in place, flesh and blood replaced by cinders and ash. The man who led him is nowhere to be seen. Alright, what's the tutorial? One of your characters has become fatigued. If fatigue represents the physical and psychological wear and tear of demand and activity on a character. It's most commonly received as an injury when a character is knocked out, but some scripted interactions may also result in fatigue if they're especially grueling. Fatigue goes through multiple stages, initially inflicting minor penalties but growing severely over time. Resting is the easiest way to remove the effects of fatigue, though some consumables can also remove fatigue. Heon and Callistus lie bloody on the uneven cobble, their bodies twisted unnaturally in death. You are alone and far from help. Gildeville may be your best hope of receiving treatment before things get worse. And I level. Your character has earned enough experience to advance a level. Click the icon on their portrait to level them up. And you get all this. And the rest can go into here. Let's equip this onto me. And I think for now, I will do this. It's probably a little tanky for now. Because it's a dagger, that's a dagger. That axes, okay. Okay. And now let's level up my character, shall we? Alright. To do skills, we're gonna do mechanics all the way. I need mechanics so I can open locks and everything. I need athletics at 1 as well, but I can get that next level. 3, I think 3 is fine. Yes, sure. Alright, now I can choose another invocation. We're gonna choose Rene Darrett's ghost. He would not rest. I'm going to summon a spirit and then talents, kind of like feats. You can get class 1s from other classes if you want to get like some small portion. There's like these ones, which if I'm not mistaken, for what I would probably want this because of... No. This, because of Ruffian. Because of the pistol. A thing is a +6 accuracy. Defense ones, you know, if I was engaged, reflex, fortitude, will, sword and shield, and then retreat. And then utilities, these are like move speed, DR against burn, storm, decay, freeze. That's that. That allows once per rest to do that, and then once per rest allows plus 20% health over. Yeah, but I'm going to choose this ancient memory because it invokes primal energy, causing allies within range to benefit constant endurance regeneration while the chanter is chanted. So essentially, whenever I'm chanting, so that's whenever I'm in combat, everyone will get 2.1 endurance. I think a second, right? I think so. Yes, I'll choose that one. And done. After gaining a character, you may want to review the statistics. Open the character sheet to see the attributes. Yeah. You can see it now. I want my intelligence up higher. I got bruised ribs. This is my passive for my race. Major fatigue. So I literally should just book it. Nah. Ooh, spooky. Someone on a torture rack. Interesting. And I'm going to make sure I loot everything before I move on, because I do need to eventually make this not shit. Probably with accuracy. I mean, if I can get this is what I would get first. It would be -4 accuracy, because it has a quality on it right now, right? Technically. Properties, terrible. It technically has a quality on it right now, which is terrible, right? So if I can enchant it, it would remove the terrible, making it a better gun. It's why is accuracy -5%? Oh, versus Veil Pierce. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, once I get the terrible thing off, I will be able to have this as more or less a normal gun. And I got it very early, so that's just what it is. I can literally do any of these to remove the quality to change it. Eventually, you can get something like this, which is like really good, but level 16. And these, I figure out what element I want. I don't know. But yeah, I will mostly be in like clothing, maybe light armor. It really depends if there's like a chanter precise armor I want to get. But I'll play it by ear. Let's grab this. Dash of flesh. Oh, someone being crucified. No, burn the pyre. Someone's being burned at the pyre. Let's grab this. Springberry. And this Pilgrim's Crown. The massive structure formed of stone, adra, and copper is covered in strange glyphs. The air around it vibrates with unusual energy. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. See my bruised ribs and major fatigue. Alright, let's go to the world map. Okay. So, there's Defiance Bay. This is very much just like Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, particularly. Which I like those games a lot. But you have... We have to go to the Valewood first, and then from the Valewood we go to the Gilded Vale. And then once I get to the Gilded Vale, I'll probably do 1 or 2 things, and then from there end it. Because I would like to... Funny. Looked at my phone for a second. And I got a spam text about your car has unpaid toll from a group. And it, I don't have a car. So funny. Alright. Let's go to the Valewood. It'll take 6 hours. Hello? Oh, it didn't pop up for some reason. Alright. Cross the Valewood. Sitting here. That up and that. Actually, will If I enchant this, it's just quality, attribute bonus, and proofing. Okay. We'll equip this because I think I'm going to need to fight. Sorry, hold on. Someone at the door. Let me check my camera. No. Sorry, I thought I heard the doorbell ring. Give me a second. Just checking the camera. No, everything's fine. Cool. I'm being paranoid. Ooh, ghost. Ooh, spooby. Spooby doo. I think I can do a couple things. There is a... How close am I to the next level? Not that close. So we'll explore a bit, and then from there we will go to the Guild of Vale, go through the entire... What is that? Okay.
Cuerpes. Filmas. Meat.
Alright, let's get some skeletons to help me.
Row a 10. Yes.
And...
Cuerpes. Filmas. Meat.
Let's summon a spirit now. Wait, no, he's dead. Cool. Go. Never mind. Spirit. Okay, that was the thing. I don't like
Shall we get some shut-eye?
this, Oops. What did I pick up? Anything interesting? An excellent. Oh yeah, sure. Whatever. The struts it supports are largely enough to be ribs of vertebrae of a dragon. Interesting. We'll continue to explore this area. I need to make sure that I don't die.
Cuerpes. Filmas.
Thankfully. Yeah, thankfully, because I regenerate endurance, I've just gotta survive long enough. And I'll summon the spirit this time,
Row a 10.
which will come in and do a lot more damage than
Cuerpes. Filmas. Mitum.
does a lot more damage than the skeletons, but it's only one of them. So generally speaking, you're not gonna like bog down combat with the spirits. But for skeletons, yes. Shattered pieces of a crate are strewn across the dirt among other muddy vegetables. Let's go ahead and grab this and this. Let's put the shock thing here.
Sharp eyes and keen ears.
So, ooh. Oh, camp. Oh, person here.
Well met, friend.
This man appears to be hurriedly dismantling his camp in quick, jerk movements. He looks up, approaches, his expression tense and drawn. Greetings, he says, a little breathless. On your way south, is it? He wipes his brow, turning to face you. The sooner you clear these woods, the better, I think. Our caravan was attacked. I'm trying to get the Gilded Veil. Hard luck. I'm sorry to hear it, but you should be fine from here. There's no missing the veil if you keep the road. You haven't far to walk. But you'll want to keep clear off this place after I were just attacked, but north of here. Me and a friend, we came in on some deer, came up on a bear instead. Great monstrous thing, and apparently he didn't make it. He shakes his head. I don't know what I'd tell his wife. In any case, the forest has already cost me a friend, and I'm heading home before it takes anything else. Name's Norton. Born and raised in Gilded Vale. Haven't had a spot of luck since his face twists. Luckier than Pearly, I suppose. In any case, the forest already cost me a friend. I'm heading home before it takes anything else. What happened to your friend? We didn't see it coming. Norton's voice shakes a little as he speaks. We were following a stag. Apparently, he saw something in the brambles, and he went off tearing after it. We all but stumbled into a cave. Poor Pearly didn't stand a chance. The bear was on top of him before we knew what happened. The beast will take what they will, I suppose. He smiles sadly, and this time, Garland's flavor fell upon the beast. In a cave up a ways, he turns and points northwest. It would seek it out. I wouldn't seek it out if I were you. It's a great brood of beast. Would hate to hear that it took another life. Farewell. Cool. Let's do a quick save in case I die, because I don't like to repeat stuff. Northwest to Garen's Grab, south to the Gilded Vale.
Quefe silmas mitum.
We'll do this because I think this can, yeah, just wreck wolves. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Just wrecks wolves.
Oh, I'd welcome some rest.
I'll loot all this. It's interactable at that point. These aged walls appear to have once encircled this entire glade. Only a small fragment remains, and the stairs leading up to the top of the structure have crumbled away. Examine the wall more closely. The heavy bricks are slick with moss, presenting a hindrance to climbing, but the stones give themselves seem sturdy enough, given the right roots. One might easily reach the top. Scale the wall. You find a foothold in the large stones will fall apart, but the uneven bricks and odd angle of the ascent make the climb difficult, and after a short distance, your arms begin to burn too fiercely. You are forced to drop back down to the ground. Okay, well, we'll go to that later. Save. One is an area I haven't been to yet. Yeah, so you can see an outlaw.
Quefe silmas.
Yeah. We'll make and just have him just kill that guy. Thank you. We'll take everything he has. And we will continue onward. I need to check a setting real quick. Yeah, okay. Well, I guess I can't. I have to. Alright. Looks like there is a bandit camp here. How long before it take to make some damn stew? Don't rush me. You have to let the meat absorb the flavor. You'll be absorbing the sharp end of my dagger if you don't hurry it up. The young dwarf tending to the stew looks up, startled as he sees approach. He drops his ladle, spewing stew across the ground. What the bandit turns. Get her, you dogs. Make sure our new cook doesn't run off. Help me, please. One of the bandits gives a kick as they pass him, and he huddles. Okay. Well, we are going to drink this.
Me too.
Alright, we'll do skeleton. And we'll do this now. Because I think now it's just because it's less of them. Let's get the spirit out to quickly kill all of them. Yeah, because it does more damage. Here we go.
Oh, shall we get some shut-eye?
Let's pick up all this. Let's talk to you.
Greetings.
By the flame, thank you, thank you, thank you. I thought I'd be stuck cooking for these ignorant weasels for the rest of my life, or until they got bored of me, I suppose. I must get back home. I only hope that they haven't hired a replacement. The dwarf looks aghast. Listen, next time you're in Guildavale, stop by the Black Hound Inn. I'll let Pasca know that what you've done for me, and I'm sure she'll do the right by you in turn. Oh, to be back in my oven again. Guildavale, major positive. You've earned reputation. Reputation can be held with the communities or factions in the Eastern Reach and will affect how members of that group respond to you. In some cases, friends or enemies of those groups will also react to your affiliation. Helping a group will increase your positive reputation with that group. And harming a group will increase your negative reputation. It's possible to have a mix of positive and negative reputations with a group if you helped and harmed them in equal measure. Cool, cool, cool.
Certainly.
Let's now loot this place. I'll take these. Then everything else. And let's loot this place. The tent is empty, but a pair of stained cots and a stink of unwashed bodies. There's a wand and a bunch of food. And more food. I think that's all I can do in this area for now. The bear cave is something I need to be a higher level for. And I need more people. Because the bear does one-shot me. Even with all this, it will still one-shot me. And I need a certain tool to get up here. Kind of like I had the chisel tool for the wall earlier. So let's go to Gilded Vale. Accept. It'll take hours to go to the Gilded Vale. I'll do this, and then I'll go through all the intro stuff, go to the inn, and then rest for the night. And because I won't be fighting, I'll just go ahead and just take all this off. There we go. Oof. That's pretty dark. It's very dark.
You must be one of the new settlers. Welcome to Gilded Vale. You'll be pleased to know that we've had some recent vacancies here.
A man approaches you, his skin dull and gray as the desolate village behind him. He scans you with a sunken, lifeless eyes. There's his first line. His voice is a dry croak. And then the last line, and it's like he glances at the gnarled, leafless monstrosity of a tree next to him. I feel at home already.
Of course, we'll need to make some inquiries first. The inestimable Lord Radric VII has taken great pains to insulate our town from Widewind's legacy. Have you ever conceived a hollow-born child?
He gazes, swivels back to you, says what he does. He appraises you over a half-moon spectacles, scratches chin, says the second line. No.
Are you absolutely certain? Lord Raderick has made it his first priority to eliminate this scourge from our village.
His eyes narrow.
I should warn you, stranger. Here in Gilded Vale, we have a special place for dissidents, charlatans, and those who would hide a curse in our midst.
He steps to the side and inclines his head over slightly towards the deformed tree.
His lordship's wife is with child and due any day now. Without his approval, I shan't be able to find you a permanent settlement. It will have to wait until after the birth. We can continue our interview then, after the bell tolls from Radrick's hold to signal my lord's new heir. In the meantime, you can find temporary accommodations at the inn just southwest of here.
He folds his arms. I've been feeling rather strange after a close call with a bailiwick. Is there someone in town who can help?
Whatever your problem, it sounds like a matter for an animancer. However, the only animancer in Gilded Vale isn't in any condition to speak. Consider yourself fortunate. After she failed Lord Radrick, we saw to it that she wouldn't profit from the misplaced trust of others. A bad cure is often worse than none at all.
The magistrate frowns, says his first line, and then he points to the body hanging from the tree. Then he sneers and says his second line.
But if you're set on finding a bottle of troll piss or a dead Audra pebble to rub on your forehead, you're welcome to check her pockets. A little corpse stink is nothing when you're digging for shit. My advice, however, is to be satisfied that you escaped and leave it at that.
If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. It's important that everyone in Goodleville understands the rules. You mentioned about Hollowborn and Wadewin's legacy before. He blinks. I forgot you foreigners do not have this curse in your homelands. The Hollowborn have been a scourge upon Drywood for almost 15 years now. He lowers his voice in a whisper, children born without souls. He shakes his head. Pitiful, dumb things that breathe barely but do not truly live. Some say the Hollowborn are a disease. Some say they are a punishment from the gods. He raises his empty hands. In truth, no one knows, but they begin spreading after the Saints' War, and so the name Wydrin's legacy stuck in honor of that foul, blasphemous pretender. His voice shakes with vitriol. I see. Oh, I hit my mic. I'm sorry. Lord Roderick decrees that many seem strict at times, but he has our best interests at heart, he nods. Before I go, I saw several people conduct their strange ceremony near some ruins. You regard you carefully. You want to mind where you mention that trespassing on Gothrian ruins is illegal, not to mention dangerous. You probably saw someone attempting a new ritual to appease the gods. People will try anything these days. Bareth, have mercy. We certainly have. I don't think so. They just finished. There was a Barwick. He polished his spectacle on his sleeve. You've been that close to Barwick, you wouldn't be standing here. Goodbye.
Keep out of...
Urgent, Urgrit nods curtly.
Listen!
2 tolls. Let that be the last.
3. Gods have mercy.
It seems your arrival is ill-timed.
Urgent looks towards the east, expression unreadable. He blinks slowly. He turns attention back to you.
3 bells toll only for the death of a Radric. I fear Lord Radric's heir is lost, or else Hollowborn, and so lost all the same. You should tread carefully. Circumstances have changed a great deal.
A particular spasm across his face, the corner of his mouth quirks up with mirthless smile. What do you mean? You come at us at a time of mourning. The legacy has struck at the heart of Gilded Vale. Our efforts to redeem ourselves in the eyes of Bereth must be redoubled. He sets a steady gaze on you. What happened? He shrugs one bony shoulder. I know not of the details when the messenger arrives, the vagueness of childbirth perhaps, but that is not your concern. I cannot be sure of nothing right now. I'd advise you to get some rest at the inn or stay before I care. Find me afterwards. I will know more soon enough. Farewell. Okay. Well, that is unfortunate. Main character.
Were you looking for someone in that tree? I could introduce you.
I'm looking for someone who can help me feel better. He glances understanding and nods. My condolences. He exhales and turns away, watching the village around him. Scattered between the roots and bracelet of twine, withering flowers, the notes of half erased in the rain. Alright, let me go to the inn. Then from there, we will call it. I think 2.5 hours. Close to 2.5 hours is fine for streaming. I haven't streamed in a very long time. Aloth, you see 4 people gather at the door of the inn. Their raised voices and choppy gestures suggest an argument reaching its climax. The first figure raises his hand for calm. His face is partially obscured by a hood, but his height and stature suggest an elf.
I meant no offense. Let's put this matter to rest over a round, shall we? My treat.
Hoping to soothe our pride with a few Adira coppers, eh? We don't need your coin.
The other 2 folk, men and an elven woman, don't look convinced. The woman crosses her arm, says her line, spits at his feet, says her second line. Everyone calm down. What is this about? I'm sure it's an overreaction. Angry townsman, one of the other men glares at His eyes are red from drinking, but his gaze is focused. We're humble folk, but we're no fools. Not like he thinks, mocking us while he shelters in our village. We don't take that kindly talk from foreigners, especially not Adrians.
Go on. Say it again. I'm itching for an excuse.
The second man thrusts his chin at the elf. He stinks of sour ale. He says his line.
Fie, you're itching for the kindling touch of your sister, you cock's feather!
I'll cut that barrel-licking tongue out of your head.
Angry townsman. A collective cry of outrage rises from the 3 locals. The second man snarls, says his line.
This is a misunderstanding. I didn't say whatever it is you think I said. We've nigh quarrel.
Horror and shock paint themselves across the elven man's face. In broad, hasty strokes, says his first line. He frowns and swallows, says his second line, and then he plants his feet, saying something snarly and raw, flickers his eyes, says his last line.
That's where you're wrong.
And then the elven draws a blade. I don't think attacking them is such a good idea. The 3 drunks scowl you, and why is that? If someone's baiting you as obviously as he is, it's generally wisest to walk away. They look at each other. One of the men gives the other 2 a warning, shakes his head before turning to you. We're done for now, but this one better watch his step around here because we're not going anywhere. With a final scowl, the elf turns to leave. As the three stumble away, the elf turns to you, the tension almost gone from his smooth face.
Not quite how I hoped to get to know the neighbors. Thank you for your timely assistance with that awkward situation.
You mean for making them piss their pants? You're welcome.
Well, that is one way of putting it.
He gives you a quick smile. He straightens his hood, and you note the remains of a fraying embroidery on his glove. His boots are caked with the dirt of many months of travel, but the leather work beneath it is sturdy and fine.
Well, I suppose introductions are in order after that little fiasco. Aloth Corvisor, at your service.
Tell me about yourself.
Well, I'm a wizard by training, and an adventurer by necessity. I was born in the Seathwood, part of the mainland of the Adir Empire, and both of my parents served the nobility, which afforded me an education for which I am grateful. However, there were no open positions in those houses, and so I decided to seek new means in a new land. And how exactly did you come to be here?
I was traveling with a caravan, but we were separated near some ruins.
In Gwithan ruins? Well, those can be dangerous places during the best of times, which these are not. In half the locals would arrest you for trespassing, and the rest would kill you outright. I'm curious, what exactly did you find there?
A Bjork. He leans closer.
And you survived? I've heard such a thing was impossible. But it seems you either have a knack for timing or the favor of the gods.
Regards you with new interest. What are you doing in the Gilded Vale?
An excellent question. I came looking for fresh air and cheap land. Instead, the magistrate gave me directions to the inn and a story about the local lord's expectant wife. But I take it that's a familiar tale.
He folds his arms and frowns, looking towards the center of the town, in between the first and second line, and then he cocks his head, looking at you in between the second and third line. Okay. And you? I've been experiencing strange things of late. I'm looking for an expert on souls.
Indeed. The local lord has searched far and wide for similar specialists. He has rid himself of them almost as desperately.
He flickers. His eyes flicker as he looks at you up and down, and then as he finishes thing, he nods at the gnarled old tree in the center of town. His darting glance takes the tumbled down buildings in the fallow rock-strewn fields. I expect such expertise would be best sought elsewhere. Okay. How did you manage to cross those three drunks?
I'm afraid that was a matter of misunderstandings and mistranslations. It doesn't help that people in these parts remember their war with Adir like it was yesterday.
He tenses his fingers and looks away. You did tell that one man to go fuck his sister. Ah, that. He clears his throat and adjusts his sleeves as I try to tell him they misheard me. Happens all too easy after a few pints, and the accent doesn't help. I heard the same thing. For just a moment, he looks at you, about to say something else. Expression brightens with mischief, but before he can speak, he forces a tight smile, biting his lips so hard you expect to see blood. Finally, his face relaxes, and he shakes his head. I should speak more clearly next time. My apologies. You don't exactly look like a settler.
Begging your pardon, but neither do you. Yet, circumstances can find a person in the strangest of places.
Alright, I should get going.
As should I, given recent events. It's just as well. I've had enough of the watered wine and lumpy beds at the inn. They say even the owner tired of the place. Just up and left one day. It explains quite a lot about the upkeep. Perhaps I could join you. I could use a change of scenery, and I find it's better to travel in numbers.
He gives you a guardedly hopeful look. So do I. Let's get going then.
Excellent. I shall follow you.
And I got my first companion, Elof. So let's level him up. So he's gonna go lore, all lore, because he is a caster. We'll also do this, I think. And then for spells, I actually don't know what's good spells in this game because I don't play a wizard. I play a chanter, which is very weird. go with so it's 60 seconds. That's an anti-caster one. Yeah, I think I'll do this Sunless Touch. And we'll do... Blast. Yes. Cool. Let's do it like this. Let's go to the inn. So yeah, around like 2.5 hours once I'm done here. Pasca, I need to talk to you.
Well met, friend.
Hello, and welcome to the innkeeper looks. Oh, it's you. Tenereth told us what you did for him, and it's such a relief to have him back. I can't thank you enough. Gilded Veil, moderately positive. Consider yourself a favorite of the house. Discounts on drinks and rooms. Tenereth said he wanted to whip something nice for you. He's already in the back, working the kitchen. She laughed. So, what would you like? Black Hound. Really? Oh, let me see. The actual building has been here for years, but the Black Hound is fairly new. We got a lot of new faces on here, and a few are, I'll admit, Terran's a big draw, so I hope he gets the big crowds again in downtime. I used to work tables, and actually until the old owner up and left, not sure what happened to him, even left his poor hound behind. What's the name? See the Black Hound? It's sitting upstairs, pining after herself, poor old girl. Place ended up in my hands somehow, my very own inn. A lot of hard work involved, but it seems to be working so far. Please sit. We like a drink or room. We have 2 available at the moment. I'm afraid we can't offer much by the way of good meals unless you're fond of cold porridge. I will be back. Oh, I leveled again. I am now level 3. So we're gonna do mechanics all the way up. And next, another phrase. We'll do this to give people movement speed and more reflex. Then you leveled. I'll give you lore. And then we'll give you 2 second level spells. I do not like rolling fire. It's like hard to do. Let's do the necrotic lance. A lot of AoE stuff, that's for sure. We'll do the siphon. Hey, there we go. Let's go talk to our friend back there, shall we? Tenereth. Hey, what's up, buddy? Ah, it's you, my savior. He makes a sweeping gesture to indicate the kitchen around you. It's good to be back. Do not think I'll let this go in order. I've decided that you've earned the right to learn one of my most close guards. After this, you will eat nothing else. A savory pie that keeps you hale and hearty. May it serve you in all your travels. Nice. And crafting, food, and then there's a savory pie. Look at that. Pair with chicken. Constitution for 30 seconds. Duke's own beef loaf. And then there's a stew. So let's craft this. And let's craft this chicken. Cool, cool, cool. So endurance and constitution. Endurance and might. Let's explore a little bit of this inn. And then from there, remember, anything that's not, so you can see here, that's stealing, so I'm not going to be doing a stealing run. I'm playing a chanter, not a thief. So we'll just clean this place out. probably talk to the dog. Yes, we'll get that for you. And scroll you up. And okay. And so these guys are, so the ones with the yellow, and then there's like tombstones in other parts of the area. These are backer things. So it's like, yeah, and it's just that, it's all just backer stuff that I don't really need to deal with. Let's go upstairs and see about that dog. Roaches scatter and flee among the crates. Yuck. It's an in-guess. 10 years of dawn. 10 years I tilled the forest leaf. 10 years I told myself that living in St. Waldron's footsteps would bring me to rebirth. Each dawn I pray, if thou art in darkness, thou shalt bring thee light. And each yet night would bring me the same emptiness. From my decade of living as a simple dye farmer, I have shown for a great deal of purple cloth. Eothas has not spoken to us since he appeared as Saint Waldron. It was my hope that Eothas would claim me as his next vessel, but alas, the Child of Light remains silent. Every day I practice the ritual of banishing the shadow of the unfaithful. Every day I work my fields in solitude without sign of Eothas returning. If thou art in darkness, he shall bring thee light. But how long must I remain lost in the long night of abandonment? Is my punishment for keeping my faith a secret? Is Eothas hiding from me until I shout my reverence for all to hear? Surely, he must know that the Drywoodians now hate him, and his followers, my countrymen, are quick to blame all that is terrible on the Saints' war and all those that still faithful to Eothas. Should they not be angry at Redicar's soldiers? Do the Drywoodians not realize that dismiss the god of rebirth and redemption is to prevent all the hope of healing? I pen these words. I know I must continue to till the die leaf. I will awake each day with hope. If thou in darkness, he shall bring me to light. Each day I will pray to the dawn stars visit me, just as they visited St. Waldron in his field of Vorles. Will they come to me as they came to St. Waldron, as a man and two women, luminescent and perfect? I am told they will come to presage new times. I am told many things as I struggle to find the faith to believe it all. And yet each morning the sun rises the eastern sky. Each morning Eothas illuminates my simple plot of land, casting away the shadows of the unfaithful in his golden gaze. I thank thee, Eothas, for allowing the spring I have had, all that will come. I am in darkness. Please bring me light. I don't think that's
I can get it to
stealing. It is stealing. Well, I can at least unlock it to get money.
I can get it to spill its secrets. It's done.
And this is not stealing. This has padded light armor, a bright beer, and a duelist hat. Creme behind the books is a drawing that shows Eothas and Lord Roderick in comparison positions. The Dryhood Part 1, Early Colonial History. No other land had such a wild and bloody recent history, from colonial to Palatine to Free Republic. The Drywood has undergone a trial by fire and a powerful force of the Eastern Reach. Drywood's history actually begins in Adir in 2602 AI. Idra explorers return from a journey across the ocean with tales of treasure they found. They discovered countless ruins scattered throughout the forest, as well as plains to the north and the trees that would be perfect for growing Vorles. There was a problem, however. The locals were hostile and there were potential for conflict. The Furconian of Adir, the first king of Aether, knew that this was too good to opportunity to pass up and sent more explorers to scout and map up the area. Exploration continued over the next 20 years. Small groups of explorers traveled back and forth between Adair and this new world, with a handful of colonists setting up small camps to establish a base for the explorers to work out conflicts with locals who the Adairs learned are called the Gorfalians. Were rare but frequent enough for the first king to send a small squadron of guards to help protect the citizens. These guards established a central base on a river in the western section of the woods. The settlement would eventually become the city of Dryford, upon which the modern-day village of the same name is presently built. Once the base was established, the first permanent Adrian settlements began north and west of the Bell River. Over the next 3 years, thousands of Adrians made the trek from Edur to the new land. The Grenfalans, who seemed to revere the ruins scattering through the forest, caused few problems with some of the settlers, especially those found in the ruins themselves. They were easily taken care of by the colonists with the help of the Imperial Guard. The Adrians, in order to keep further their foothold in the area, reduced the cost of production in an attempt to keep the Gorfalan population in control, started to make slaves out of the Gorfalan captured during the uprising. This resulted in a great increase of tension between the two groups. With the population of the area growing, an official government structure was established by the first king. He appointed several earls to be presided over the land and assigned them thrains to help them run the territories, and they called the new Grafram the Drywood. Dryford remained the center of the Imperial Guard, but the settlements of the Pearlwood Gulf, New Dry Dunwood, and the true seat of power for the area sit in the edge of the ocean. Forest, fertile farmland, and the river that runs from the coast to the White Marsh. Settlers flocked to the area, hoping to establish names for themselves. Edra began to spread across the new land. Colonist piece of shit. Alright. These bones are covered in tiny bite marks. Aw. Blackhound. This hound stares at the covered window and head cocked, waiting to hear a particular sound. When he looks up, approaches a whine and tackles. I'm sorry, guy. I don't think he's coming back. The dog whines softly and heads tilted. Well, you can come with me. Maybe he'll find him on the way. The dog ears perks up, trots over you, the barks happily. You've gained the item, Black Hound. Added to inventory. The small dog has a glossy black coat and a horrible disposition. He trots along at your heels, gazing devoutly whenever you want to take a stomp. I think, if I'm not mistaken, yes. As the main character, I can have a pet, and so I have the Black Hound. Nice, nice. And that just exits out. Alright, we'll rest, and from there, I will end it. I just wanted to get the inn more or less done and get the little pupper. Can I craft anything? Food, potions, iron skin. A lot of alchemy, and then you have the scrolls. Alright.
Good day, stranger.
Thank you. Hello again. Come to... Yes, I would like a room, please. Certainly, you're always welcome. Alright, so I don't have... It allows characters to rest without using campfire supplies. Cheap rooms are usually available, but if you have copper to spend, you may consider the more expensive options. The bonuses they provide will last for a long time and affect the entire party. I'm going to do the +2 resolve and the plot, yes. Ooh, spoopy. Swoopy whoopy doo. Ooh. Your sleep is restless, fevered, assaulted by hisses and whispered, blanket with suffocating anxiety. You open your eyes to awaken. You find yourself in front of the Gilded Vale's gallows tree. The creaking of its rope grows louder in your mind until the sound is deafening. Hanging from the tree is an old dwarf woman whose face has shriveled inward. like moldering fruit. Her head hangs limply on one side as you look to her, and she looms larger and larger in your mind until there she is, mere inches from your face. Suddenly, suddenly her head snaps up, her eyes open, and they're empty, and behind them is a vast nothingness that makes your stomach drop. Her mouth slowly parts with a gust of rancid air. She speaks a word. Watcher. You jolt awake. The foul smell of the dwarf's woman breath still permeates your nostrils. Sweat runs down your face in thick droplets, and your skin is soaked from head to toe. You remember the woman. You remember her, seeing her decaying face as you spoke with the magistrate. He called her an animancer. Though it fills you with new queasy apprehension, you feel a strange compulsion to see this woman once more, if only to confirm she is truly dead. Alright. We leveled. We got everything. We got a party member. We got the town. We got rid of the fatigue. We survived the Buick. And now we're going to go talk to a seemingly dead dwarf in the gallows tree. But I think that is a good enough place to stop for now. I don't want to stream too long. I need to do other things, and my toes are literally freezing. My toes are literally freezing. Alright. And I think that's, definitely a good place to stop. So we will quit the game. I saved it. And I will probably try to do this every day I can that I feel up to it. I just really want to get I've had this game since it launched, and I really want to beat it. I'll show you. I've had 2015. This isn't my character. This is someone else's. But yeah, 2015. I've had it since 2015. You can see I've played. This is the 40-hour save right here. And this was what I was doing yesterday. I got like 6 hours in. I did spend a lot of the time, but yeah, fuck, this was so long ago, in 2015. But I want to get this game done and whatnot. So, thanks for all who joined. I will now mute my mic and be back for about go on the engine screen for a couple.